All right, today we're diving deep into Wotan. And look, he's not just some character in a futuristic story. He is the embodiment of a raw, ancient power that has just smashed its way into the super high-tech world of Neo-Arcadia.
Let's start with this metaphor because it is perfect. Just picture it, a massive, ancient glacier, something unstoppable, just appearing and grinding its way through a modern city. Wotan is that glacier. He's this overwhelming, cold reminder of a primal existence that our modern world has tried so hard to forget.
And that really gets to the heart of it, right? What happens when a society that's built itself around safety, around comfort, comes face to face with a power that plays by a much older and, frankly, a much more brutal set of rules? Let's get into it.
To really get Wotan, you have to understand this one central idea that defines his entire being. He is, quite literally, a walking, talking example of something called atavism.
So, what is Ativism? Well, it's not about evolution moving forward. It's the exact opposite. It's a giant leap backward. It's the sudden reemergence of instincts, of a worldview that civilization has spent centuries trying to stamp out. You could say Wotan is the ghost in our species' machine suddenly made real.
And this is the blueprint for this kind of primal being. He's not part of a community, he stands alone. He doesn't play by our rules of right and wrong, he operates completely beyond them. This all comes from something called master morality, this idea that the truly strong don't follow values, they create them.
And here's where you see the huge clash. On one side, you've got Wotan. He doesn't ask what's good, he decides what's good, based on his own power. But on the other side, you have the herd, whose morality is just a reaction. For them, good is whatever's safe, whatever is non-threatening, whatever keeps the strong guys in check.
So, you can imagine, how does a world built entirely on that second kind of morality, that slave morality, react when it's forced to stare into the face of a true master?
You see it perfectly through the eyes of characters like Mephistopheles. To him, Wotan's total, absolute freedom, it isn't something to admire. It's terrifying. He calls it a dangerous regression because it completely shatters their comforting lie, the lie that humanity has evolved past such raw, untamed power.
So what does the herd do? They label him. He's a monster, a tyrant. But these aren't just insults. They're defense mechanisms. It's their only way to try and make sense of something that scares them to their core, the living proof that the beast they thought they'd killed is actually alive and well.
And the craziest part, the ultimate irony, is how he was even created. Humanity tried to build the tool. They wanted a weaponized overman to be a powerful slave for their little wars. So they built this gamma-fueled cage thinking they could bottle lightning. But instead, they accidentally flipped a switch and brought back something ancient, something absolute, a force that could never, ever be mastered.
Now, Wotan isn't the only one out there with this kind of insane power. And to really understand what makes him authentic, we have to look at his dark reflection, a guy named Faustus. See, Wotan's power is what you'd call a true atavism, because it's actually connected to a purpose. He's the wanderer, and he's on a journey, not just for power's sake, but for a deeper, more fundamental truth about existence. His strength serves his will to create new meaning. Faustus, on the other hand, is a false atavism. He's got the same incredible power, but he's missing that sovereign will. He's not a master of his power, he's a slave to it. A slave to his own hunger, his own bottomless appetite for destruction.
And you have to understand, this difference is absolutely critical. Wotan seeks to overcome, to build, to create. Faustus only wants to consume what's already there, to be the king of a pile of rubble. One creates values, the other is just a dead end.
So where does this epic philosophical brawl actually happen? Well, the setting is just as important as the characters. Let's talk about Neo-Arcadia.
This is not your friendly neighborhood sci-fi utopia. Not at all. Neo-Arcadia is called a new harsh Olympus. It's a proving ground. It's a stage built for gods and monsters, a place where all the old, comfortable rules have been completely burned away. Think about it. In Neo-Arcadia, all the things that structure our world, gone. Social contracts, laws, corporate power, totally meaningless. The only thing that matters there is raw strength and the will to forge a new meaning of the earth.
And the one single rule of this world? It's basically Wotan's personal mission statement. This isn't a world he has to conquer, it's a world that was practically built for him. It's the only place a being like him could ever truly exist.
But even here, in a world that seems perfect for him, the biggest battle is the one inside. The ultimate threat to Wotan isn't some other monster. It's the temptation of comfort. It's that whisper from Mephistopheles to give it all up, to let himself be tamed, to become weak and manageable again.
And that really brings us to the main point of all this. Wotan is more than a character. He's a living, breathing, philosophical argument. He is the personification of a primal truth that our entire civilization is designed to make us forget. That beyond all our laws and ethics, there's a raw, untamable power that truly shapes existence.
Which leaves us with a pretty heavy question to chew on. If Wotan represents some kind of fundamental truth, does that mean our own world, with all its safety nets and morality, is built on a comforting lie? And maybe more importantly, what happens when that primal glacier finally breaks through into our lives?